EX has got the facts for you. EX the storyteller, bringing the spark. No one does it better.
What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with you people? Did Africa all of a sudden miss a conscience, a good conscience, a righteous conscience? Did the when it was passing out moral fiber, did Jamaicans miss that? Because what I see Jamaican and the Haitians offering into the community with this filthy dancing and this disgusting, nasty twerking, and this language and this filthy music you got up here, ain't nothing honorable about that. Is that all y'all bring? Y'all don't bring nothing to bring on. Y'all ain't got no James Brown, I'm black and I'm proud. Y'all ain't got none of that to bring to our community. All y'all got is filth and waste and stuff that your grandmama would say, if you don't clean your mouth out, I'm gonna wash your mouth out with soap. Y'all ain't got none of that. Y'all, that's the stuff y'all got when your grandmother's turning over in her grave saying, we gonna wash your mouth out with soap, with that music and stuff y'all got out here. And you letting the kids listen to. Absolutely not. So it's unclean. And then you talking about you talking about a reparation bill that you give out no cash payment when you done stole. I got accounting that show that y'all done stole over something trillions of dollars from Negroes and Black Americans, and you only trying to get them a housing. You were supposed to do that anyway because you're responsible for them as a people, as a citizen. So that's not reparation. What are you talking about? And you don't appreciate the people who's handling reparation because it's an organized infringement or organized effort in order to steal money from the federal and state government. That's what it is. It's an unclean reparation bill in order to, here's a word for you, Brooke, defraud. Defraud federal and state claims that belongs to Negroes and their children. Now deal with that. And as long as you put those words to anything that they're doing, then you got a legal claim against them. Now your ethic committee and now on the board that you guys sit in is first is preparation. Then after preparation is execution. And then after execution is expediting. Get it out there, get it to the people. And let me tell you something, as far as I remember, my scripture says one can chase 1,000. Two can put 2,000 to fight if you doing it in righteous sake. So once you sisters begin to come together and you let these sisters get their ideal, yes, you got a compliance committee, but now you got a reparation task force that's also meeting with the compliance committee because y'all gonna work together. Your reparation part deals because we got over 2,266 issues in each states that we got to deal with. And you say, well, how you get that number? In our family structure that they have polluted, we have to deal with that. School situations, we have to deal with that. In our community where our money is being strapped from our pockets, going to these liquor stores, going to Asians, going to everybody with us. But we got to deal with that. Every ideal that we have from selling watermelons that the Mexicans that came over and opened up a farmer's market, it used to be called a flea market. A flea market was something that was in the Negro community. That was how we exchanged our business with each other. That's how we kept money in our community because we went to the flea markets. But you don't let these hustlers come in and take our stuff, and now they got watermelon, they got our fruits. Now they're doing all the lawn work, the city work. And then they gonna sit here and look in our face and talk about ain't no discrimination. Can we all get along? Get along what? Our black men were not, they used to be city workers. They used to be garbage collectors. They used to pick up the waste. Now you can't find one of us barely in these positions. And you gonna try to tell me that there's no open discrimination by the other groups? And once you guys get in there, as soon as y'all see a black application, you guys throw black people's application, black men's application in a garbage can. And even if y'all do give a black person, a black woman job, y'all only doing that because the government gives y'all $60,000 to hire a different group of people. And y'all let them work for 6 months and then y'all fire them. And y'all start all over because the government is already giving y'all what is called work credit. You ain't fooling nobody. So you had no intention of giving our black people and our black men a real opportunity to actually have a job or a career or a long-term profession for him to take care of his family. And then you got sisters stretched so thin because y'all lying and hooking and crooked about our relationship, about our issues, that we're so divided amongst each other that now aunties and sisters can't even come home and watch our children while one of us go to work to make sure our children is not beat up in these schools. We got issues. Besides the fact that y'all taking our history and our culture, y'all tearing down our family structure, you're putting us in prison for the wrong reasons. You got innocent brothers that still right now just for walking the street and got lied on and then showed us video after videos that these prisons is doing us wrong. Where our sisters at? Where we twerking and dancing and in clubs? Where's the movement at to let them know we want an audit and investigation? Why we ain't on their heels? You ain't finna get our brothers in there like that. Why we ain't calling for the removal of judges? It's not nobody special. They unrighteous judges according to the Bible. They're never going to be right towards us. But they can be removed. You can deal with them. But they don't feel nothing. Why? It's because we're not talking honesty. We're not being honest with each other about our issues. We ain't cleaning up our own house. We ain't getting people, even if we do got family members. I love all God's people. I don't care if you red, white, green, or blue. I love all God's people. If you righteousness and you got a righteous mind to do right by people, I love you for that. Just like Martin Luther King said, don't judge a man by the color of his skin, by the context of his character. I love you for that, white people, Asian people, Muslim people. I love you for that. And as long as you under the word of God and you're trying to do right by your God, I love you for that. But don't get it twisted. I'm a Negro. I'm black. I have an obligation, a responsibility to be held accountable for black people. And because I have that obligation, you're not finna make me feel bad because I'm finna sit up here and stop you from running roughshod on my children. Running roughshod on my black men. Running roughshod on my money, my houses, my land, everything we do, y'all think is y'all's and y'all take it and then lie about it. And you don't think I'm finna sit up here and stand on who I am as a person? I'm black. My dogs know how to look out for each other. They dogs. They pack together. But then when it comes down to me trying to say, well, I'm finna protect black people, the first thing you're gonna tell me is I can't. Why? Because you want me to belong to you. That's the reason why you don't want black people to stand together. Because you want black people to stay internal servitude to you. You want to steal black people idea. We can't even come up with design on social media without 10 different organizations coming up with something similar. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Y'all on this thing more than I am. You got black women, black girls all the time sitting up there telling how people are stealing and copyrighting our stuff. And then try to make us pay the patent stuff that don't even belong to you in the first place. And then you look us in our face and you lie. And tell us that you ain't stole that ideal from us. Liar. Thinking we don't know our stuff. Just so that you can make money off of us. No, our new law is to clarify who you are because of the confusion of the Office of Budget Administration, and to preserve our legacy, to preserve our history, to preserve our culture. We're now making it mandatory that you produce paperwork to show that you are a Negro, a Black American, because it still says Black or Black American on your ID or on your birth certificate. Now with immigrants, you have to have a substituted passport, a visa, or something that says that you're a foreigner from 2 different lands, and there's others or some kind of ethnicity or mark or visa emblem to say you're an immigrant. Well, we not talking to you. Get out our business. Stop making money off our issues that you don't know what you're talking about. You twice dead and plucked up by the roots when it comes down to our issues. And you think you done got a hold of a book and some fake white people paperwork that made you some kind of weenie factor. You think like them. I call y'all American Black Americans because y'all heart is in America. And you got black skin. And you do everything they tell you to do. And then as soon as we tell you that's not what grandmama said. That's not what my Texas great-grandmother from Virginia said. Now you got a problem. And that's not what the encyclopedia I got that dates back from 1793. That's not what it said. I don't care what group you got. I don't care what Google you got. That's not what it said. And because you're giving out false information about my heritage and my culture, and I got paperwork to prove it, I can bring you up in the courts for misappropriation of my culture, for misinformation. First of all, you ain't got no business being in my culture anyway. You know you are African. I ain't got to tell you are African. You know that. I ain't got to tell you that you a Canadian. You know that. I ain't got to tell you Jamaican. You know that. So why you out here fooling the government and asking the government for some money as an African American? Why you got a parade running around here saying African American with Pan-Africanism when we have already told you we're delineated from Pan-African? So why are you promoting that anyway? So you intentionally caused harm to a community that parade is actually for, because you use the word African American, and you're not African American. You didn't come from Negroes. So each one of your contributors and the people who sponsored you have just sponsored an organized organization for racketeering against the black community. How about that? So now your sponsor is just as elicited to the crime of supporting your efforts to fool a group of people. That has to be straightened out. The government don't want to be responsible for pay. The last thing they hate is to have Negroes to have an issue that we're subject to get paid for. So they have to make sure that they solidify our. Well, here's another thing for you, Sista Breuck. You ready? I think I lost Sista Breuck. Sista Breuck?
Wait, she might have stepped away.
Okay, well, just let her know it's called Special History Reparation. Special History Parade. Okay? So let's pull away from all this race, this color that has a color in it that's related to black and African. That means that you can bring about our historical events in our parade versus them having a flag that show us that they're Africans. Our history has nothing to do with Jamaican history. It has absolutely nothing to do with whoever you want to try to put in our history. And no one has a right to oppose our struggles. And if you're opposing and sabotaging our struggles and obstructing our stuff, now you infringing in my constitutional right. That's the reason why I got a lawsuit against the Office of Budget Administration. I don't give the Office of Budget Administration to commingle, remove Negroes off of the censors and commingle Black Americans with Africans from the North, now from Africa. That now when you look at the classification, it says unknown. How you going to tell me I'm unknown? Or you force me to say I'm black? I'm not black. My kids is black. My kids are African American. I'm Negro. Now you ain't got me nowhere on the system. If it wasn't for me, it wouldn't be no kids. If it wasn't for Negro, it wouldn't be no black. It wouldn't be no African Americans. What are you talking about? Though they're tied to us. And you ain't got us nowhere on the system, on the census, on the class category. But you got black African Americans. You got black Nigerians, black this, black that, but you ain't got me on there. Are you crazy? And you think I'm finna just let that go? If nothing else, I'm finna bring that to your attention. So next year, you gonna do better. Or for next year, the people who support me and give me some financial legal funds, I'm gonna come with a full legal force. Not just me, not just a few other people, because our money is funny. I'm gonna come with a whole legal team and deal with y'all across the world. Nobody got time to keep playing with y'all and y'all unrighteousness. Y'all stink. Y'all giving me a headache. I don't even drink, but I got a hangover. Shoot.
I know, Miss Kim. And with that said, I'm going to start to wrap this up. We've been on here for 4 hours, and I want to say that I truly appreciate you. I'm going to chop up the end of it because Brooke is right. We want to move in, and Keisha said it best, stealth. We want to move in stealth. We want to move in silence. Yeah. So I'm going to chop up the end of this when we start talking about what's really going on in New York. I'm going to chop that up a little bit. But the rest of the interview is going up. You are very positive, such an inspiration. You dropped all the gems. And this is what I want to say, what resonated. When I watched your video, at the time, I don't even think I knew Roland. And I saw your video and I heard you identifying as Negro. And this is how I feel. Obama, what I read was Obama removed Negro because the Asians were mad about the word Oriental. And at the same time, he got Negro up out of use too because they were saying that Oriental was offensive. So he said Negro was offensive. People could tell you sometimes I mentioned that. Like my ancestors are listed, identified on census as Negro. I don't appreciate that. Just like when people tell me I need to stop calling myself black, it's on my birth certificate. Some people don't like us to stand on paperwork, but it is what it is. I'm a black woman, right? With black children. And my father, I got to get his original birth certificate. It's probably listed as a Negro. He's going on 80.
And let me tell you the reason why they
can't just touch our classifications like that. Yeah,
exactly. And the reason why they called you black is because they were separating the time that we had become liberated. When we came up with the civil rights rights at that time period, there was no more need for them to go and steal Negroes off the continent of Africa, and we had started producing children. So now we had a different group of people, a different generation, a different category. So you guys became black because you didn't come under the time where you were picking cotton. You didn't come under the time where you had to get home before daybreak, or you had to deal with the time they wanted to eat us. You didn't have to deal with none of that. So they said, well, okay, this is these are still associated with Negroes, but they're not Negroes that we did harm to. That's the reason why they called you guys black or African American, and that's the reason why I'm protecting you all. Because I got paperwork. I can prove who I'm protecting. They can't.
Thank you. Brooke, are you there?
I'm here. I put Brooke to sleep. Did you get that part where I said special history? Did I put you to sleep, Sista Breuck?
No, not really. I work nights, and I was kind of getting ready. I'm so sorry. I'm getting ready for Sister Keisha's live at 8 p.m. today. So I was in and out. So I apologize for that, but I definitely wanted to hear the playback.
Okay, so I just wanted you to just for your notes. It was called, when we put African American to sleep, it's now called Based on Our Special History, or Our History of Suffrage. We could talk more about specific language that if anybody try to climb up another ladder or come close to that, the law of unclean hands will allow us to challenge that, because there's no track record to show anybody has suffered enough as Negroes and Black American for you to even come close to messing with our suffrage. Who do you all think y'all are? Well, anyway, but I just wanted to give you that.
Okay, that part I did hear, and I did write that down. I took notes. I definitely took notes.
Okay, good. And then y'all just keep me posted on both the compliance, ethic and compliance committee, and then your reparation strategy of the unclean hands and estoppel. And I hope y'all have that, because that's how you deal with the mayors, and that's how you deal with the judges. That's how you deal with everybody that's doing something they have no business doing. Okay?
Okay. Well, right now the mayorship is kind of up in the air, and Lord have mercy, I don't even want to talk about that. But so what did you think specifically about us legally suing because there are members of in Cobra and I think it's D12 or something. I don't know. Something like that. One of those stupid organizations that have been about Pan-Africanism, and they keep saying that they fight for reparations, but they haven't moved an inch on it. So what do you think about us suing them specifically?
Yeah, so any organization out there, if you're interested in suing, I know about Cobra. Here's the thing. So you have to watch their language. So if their language is convoluted or it's entangling into a history that has absolutely nothing to do with them, and there's some kind of propaganda, distortion, or lie, that's what you can sue them on. So if they're talking about a time period that they mixed, let's just say they mixed, I'm not quite for sure, because I think they're in Virginia. So let's just say Civil War that was in Virginia. I forgot the actual date, but let's just say they're saying the Cobra is saying reparation for that particular war that was fought. Okay, that's true. And if they can get the federal claims department to get them reparation on that, then good luck to them if they gonna go for it. But now let's just say that most of them are Geishas, and they start talking about their Negroes, and then they're entitled to some. Now we can challenge that, because we have already identified them just on based on them already telling who they are. They're not Negroes. So there's nothing in their reparation claim. There should be nothing about nothing that has anything to do with Negroes harm, Negro time period, Negro suffrage. It has absolutely nothing to do with them. And so that's just like the Native Indians who been here, who was part of the trail, and then they were entitled to so many benefits. Well, okay, that was exclusive. Even though Negroes was here at the time that they got the Indian reservation, and they got the Indian Bureau, and they got the Indian everything. You didn't see us breaking over trying to say we Negro, Cherokee, Indian, Native American, give us some of that money. So why is the Native Indians doing that right now? Why are they claiming that they were here? Because they bypassed a lot of Cherokee and Wookawas, or whoever you want to call them, that was a part of their tribe that they discarded. Well, those black Cherokees should go after the Indian reservation in the Indian tribe. They should be messing with Negro reparation, because the white people didn't do nothing to them, because they was a part of a tribe. It's their own tribal people who did something to them. So that's who they should deal with. They shouldn't be trying to talk about some black Native Indian. And the only reason why they saying black Native American Indian right now is because Trump said we built something. And because they were already here, they were here working with cows. That's why the agriculture department came in, because they were stealing stuff from the Indians. But the Indians wasn't building no houses. The Indian wasn't building no airplanes, no mailbox, no hair dryer. That when Trump said we build America, he's talking about we put men on the moon. That had nothing to do with no Indians. We did computers, and we made keyboards and all that kind of. That has nothing to do with no Native Americans. And so the only reason why they're saying black Americans is to get people confused that they can slide in as Black Native American that was already here, so that they can steal that that part of our history to say they built something because they were already here. And then when they talk about the chattel, where's the ship? Well, the ship was dismantled, you knucklehead. They couldn't use the ship no more. It wasn't a warship, it was a cargo ship. So they dismantled that ship. When they used to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, this all the time, getting Negroes from Negro land and bringing them here. So don't act like just because you were already here, you trying to commingle Negroes into the native claim and trying to convince Negroes that they're a part of a people that, you know, that was already here, and there was no such thing as y'all coming over through the chattel slavery. Where's the ship? The ship been dismantled, idiot. Who's gonna keep a slave ship? That's gonna remind the white people the wrong that they did. They're not finna let you keep going back and looking at that ship. Come on now. So anyway, I land and let you go to work. And I thank you, BX, for having me on this space. Just giving you all, you know, my my mindset of being, you know, able to protect you all. And the Office of Budget Administration lawsuit is just one. Y'all stay tuned for me dealing with the commissioner to get the same kind of protection bill that the Asian got for Negroes and foundational Black Americans. And then turn around, my last fight that I think is imperative will be the reparation claim. So y'all stay tuned, be a part, come be a part, put your name on these lists and stuff so that I can hear y'all issues, y'all claims, and start getting y'all money back. Because they are stealing money from you all left and right. And I want to stop it. And I can't stop it if y'all don't tell me. I can't stop it if I don't look close and see what's going on. I can't help y'all protect against the wolves that's running in, stealing y'all stuff left and right. Y'all just letting a fox run into y'all hen house, stealing y'all heritage, stealing y'all land, stealing y'all school. We Negroes, do you know we Negroes had Negro Fund for y'all education that was almost a lifeline of eternity money? And they're sitting around issuing scholarship out of that Negro Fund. And y'all not even, half of us can't even go and tell them right now today that we're trying to get in and get a scholarship because they're so busy trying to give our money to immigrants. Come on, that's y'all money. That's not Africans' money. I don't care how smart they call themselves being and how they done got so many awards. Okay, let the African nation send them that money and acknowledge them. Why are you taking money from Black Americans and Negro Fund, using Negro Fund money to give it to Africans? Because they already got enough. They sitting in your schools, taking up your seat. Get out of here. Okay, so that's it for me, Sister BX. I appreciate you letting me on here. And I'm here to put the work in. So y'all keep me posted. And then I know y'all gonna have some Zoom, some private meetings. Sister BX, keep me in the loop. And yeah, let me come with that paperwork for y'all.
All right, here go Bookie. She's the one who told me about the church in Philly. Bookie, would you be able to come up for 2 minutes just to tell us about Philly and the update about the church for Miss Kim? Let me see. She may just be peeking out there. She got.
Sister BX, you got over 23,700,000 loves. Is that what they sent to you? Do you? Yeah. Is those likes?
Yeah, you just tap your screen, your phone screen, and it'll shoot the number up. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bookie, can you tell us what happened with it was a historical Black church, Bookie?
Yes. I'm sorry, can y'all hear me? The background music. I don't know if y'all hear. Okay. Yeah, Philly has the oldest churches in the nation in the United States. I mean, literally like the oldest Black created churches. I remember one of the first ones is outside of Philly, but Philly have the first 5 oldest ones that was built from free Black Americans and free and enslaved Black Americans. And a lot of our elders who you know just decide like they can't run a church anymore, or the congregation can't afford to keep the doors open because Philly is a Pan-African city. In my opinion, unfortunately, because Philly is a Black American city, and you know how that is. Black Americans in Philly don't really rock with, that whole tribalistic mindset. So if you come at them with a, hey, don't sell it to them because they might got alternative motives, they're going to look at you like you're crazy. Cause like, no, this is a Black person. So it's a lot of Black Philadelphians rather sell to other Black people. And that's what they're doing. And unfortunately, they're taking our markers down, which is illegal because they're not allowed to do that because they're historical markers. And but they're taking them down. And they, from what an elder told me at that town hall meeting about North Philly, she watched them move it to the back of the church. And they said that they were renovating the sidewalk. That was almost a year ago. So it hasn't been back up. And they're actively removing them. So, but they
that's what it sounds like to me. So let me see if I can help you with this. And I don't know if you're gonna put some folks together. And I'll be more than happy to instruct you on start to have some kind of pushback, and you can get some old folks around this if you can. That's
we do. That's who told us. The elders already put boots to the ground. A lot of them is already, they're old, but they're making a voice. So they come into every town hall in North Philly, and they talking about, effing people up. They're serious about it because that is family churches. And a lot of this part of North Philly that I'm from, has a lot of North Philadelphians who family are descendants from the Philadelphians who were enslaved in Philly. And my family is from North Carolina. My family came up here in 1939 during the Great Migration, the ending. So my family been here for over 80 years. So my family is very connected with this community because we've been here for so long. I'm third generation North Philadelphian. So we really don't play like that. So when I didn't know that the marker was actually removed but I did know that in South Philly, the fourth oldest church became an Airbnb, and that's because it was gentrified, and somehow that this white tea person had bought it. You know what I mean? And so right now is a petition to get that reverted back. But the other three are still standing, and I believe one of them and another one, a deal come in together so they can keep that one open and keep it under the family who owns the church, the congregation, whoever owns that church. But that one that sold to the Africans is a lot of stuff going around that, because the elders are really angry about that, because you're not allowed to remove those markers anywhere, and that's what they did. And unfortunately, that's what we're going through. And I don't like the fact that they have to get themselves worked up, because the elders don't have to do that, but they starting to see it and recognize it. And
let me get this clear, because I'm telling everybody, like within earshot, that the churches are being bought by Africans. So the one that was turned into an Airbnb, because of gentrification, was by the white tea people, but the Africans are removing historical markers.
Yes.
Am I correct? Okay.
They are buying the churches, but they keeping the name, because the oldest one that was created was like 1799, 1801, and it was called the First African Episcopal Church. And they trying to keep that name, which it is, because Black, it's Philly. Black is predominantly Black American. Philly it's still Black American, has never not been Black American. So if somebody tell you otherwise, that's still a lie, because the other Black people, like Caribbeans and stuff like that, they just started coming here now. Nobody, white people here, the Italians here don't even outnumber Black Americans. Like, That's why Philly is a predominantly black
No,
city.
I've been through Philly, and I went through on Juneteenth, and I was correcting a lot of the Africans who had Pan African booths, Pan African everything, and I told them, I said, that the culture infringement that you're doing here on Juneteenth, that's illegal, right? And it was like, no, we don't, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
So I know I know what you're talking about because I went to Philly, and then they was looking at me funny because I had a white and I had the white June the 1865 shirt on. So and me and my husband did, we
Yeah.
came ripping, right? But let me just say this for you because
And I have somebody else that want to speak to you, Bookie. You heard of Philly to Flint. When Flint was going through their crisis, they were like the first boots on the ground, driving trucks of water down to Flint.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the men is recently on TikTok come to my attention, and as I was talking about the church, he was like, "I'm from Philly," and he gave me his history. He said he wanted to tap in with you just to find out exactly what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Okay,
nice.
so
That's
go
what's
ahead,
up.
Miss Kim. Go ahead, Miss Kim.
Okay, so I want you to do two things for me. I want you to pull your seniors back. One, because I'm concerned about their health. I know old Negroes can muster up some energy and be about that fight, but I don't want them to stress out because they're not going to move that city official. You are, and we are. And they already fought the fight to get you what you have. They don't have the strength to fight this new fight in this new time period where they done turned the clock back. So I want you to look up.
She might be looking for information. Go ahead, Miss Kim.
I'm finna get. Are you ready, Sister Brooke?
That's Sista Bookie.
Oh, Sister Bookie, are you ready?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
I think she's Googling as she's talking.
I want you to write this down and folks as you begin to tell them that you guys coming up with a strategy to do something else. It's called history or historical preservation laws in Philadelphia.
That's what we are part of already.
Okay, good. And then the next one, did you see the ordinance? So one is the history law that you have there. Did you see the ordinance that was associated with it? I think it was something 104, something like that. Did you see that?
Ours is different because when we had our town hall for North Philly, the history of North Philadelphia, we had the people from Harrisburg, our state capital. Harrisburg came out to tell us about because it's about preserving the history of Black Americans in Philly, which is crazy because majority of the people who put it together are Temple University students who are white. Mm-hmm. But the people who are buying up and trying to gentrify Philly is the Africans, which is crazy, the Black Africans. But the white ones are coming together with a lot of our elders. And I don't know if you know Philly elders, you can tell them like, hey, fall back, we got it. And they're going to go, no, I can do it my way. If you like a lot of them, if you know anything about Ta-Nehisi Coates, one of the greatest writers ever, his father is from North Philly. Mm-hmm. And he grew up with my grandma. Mm-hmm. And they all have that energy. Mm-hmm. And you could tell the elders to fall back, but the elders feel like you're not going to get it done the way they're going to get it done. And the elders are the ones who making it move and shake now.
Oh, so, yeah. Okay. So then we're
here. We're with them.
So
we're definitely with them.
I definitely know what you're talking about because those elders came across the scriptures where the elders must serve the youngers. So it ain't nothing you're going to be able to do about that if they had that in their heart. So they're going to deal with them from more of a wisdom perspective. But now let me just see if I can get you to allow them to do what they're doing, but make sure that they don't go too far where they're trying to say that they're the city or anybody is trying to say y'all harassing them.
No, that's that wouldn't, because Philly is predominantly Black American. Like we have Kenyatta Johnson, we have Bryan Street. A lot of them are aware of the concerns of the elders and how they feel like don't touch our sacred places and our businesses. And that's why even though you can own it, you can't remove it. So that's why they knew if they take it down, they couldn't throw it away or anything like that. So the elders who lived across the street from it, who peeped it, she immediately contacted them, and they was like, "Oh no, we're fixing the front grounds." And that was a year that passed. So when the Philly town hall happened, she showed up with Polaroid pictures that she took with her Polaroid. She took down notes. She took down how she didn't see the city come out and measure the sidewalk. They didn't even mark the sidewalk for lines to even attempt to say that they were getting ready to prepare or fix those streets. Like, our elders are too. Our Philly is the way Philly is because our elders. People talk about Martin Luther King Boulevards. We don't have Martin Luther King Boulevard. We have a Martin Luther King Drive. And if you search that up, that is a damn amazingly beautiful park. So when people talk about they talk about why the Martin Luther King Boulevard in every city is decapitated, I go, well, you never been to Philly, because when you go to Philly and you see it, our elders, the Black elders, make sure that everything that have anything to do with our historical icons are still up to par. The 7th Ward with W.E.B. Du Bois wrote the Philadelphia Negro, the first ever sociology report in history. The 7th Ward is fucking beautiful. That's in South Philly.
Nice.
You can't play with Black American elders like that.
Nice. So then this is the part that you're missing with her pictures. Don't let her picture go to waste. This is how you use her pictures. Now it has, and besides, these are seniors. And because these are seniors, they're governed under being able to do, having attorneys and different things to oversee their situation without even coming up with no money, just to let you know. Because there's damage. Now it's called a group of people who are filing charges because there is associated harm. The associated harm is based on your historical suffrage that has been removed, that has caused you guys, has caused some emotional stress, that's caused some harm. It wasn't visible. The people, it's erasure of your culture. It's, the city didn't do anything about it. So now you got some issues. So I think now, Sister Bookie, I think what you have to consider is doing is it's okay to keep your presence there. But now it's time for one, let me help you with those pictures that she have and the timeline she have and the issue that you have based on that law. Let me put together the harm that they were supposed to put that up. They were supposed to return that back. And let me ask you this. If they put that back up after we send them a notice that we're going to sue them, would the elders be satisfied?
I think I have to talk to the elders and see what they want. I do know they want the placards back up, but the elders already took that step with Kenyatta Johnson office. Our councilmen and congressmen have those pictures in those papers already.
So but have a lawsuit been filed? Is they playing around with your paperwork?
I have to contact her. I have her number, but because she went straight to Kenyatta Johnson was there. So was Brian Street. A lot of our congressmen, because it was the
congressmen, they not finna file no lawsuit.
It's
the congressman is only going to have the city they can only issue an ordinance to tell the city to acknowledge or they in violation and tell the city to go ahead and return that
placard
back up. Yeah, it'll come across.
Kenyatta Johnson is our representative for this 32nd Ward, where it was taken away on Caesar B. Moore Avenue. So we went when he was there because it was a North Philly historical preservation day. The whole purpose was, what are we doing to preserve the Black American history in North Philly? That's what we did, and that's when she brought out her pictures because she was doing research. I'm not sure if anybody know about that older woman who before she died, she started investing in Apple and started making her money, and then she recorded every single last commercial to the day that she died, and they found over 50,000 tape recordings. She's from North Philly as well. This is something that Philly has always done. You know what I mean? And I'm not taking nothing from our elders because the elders aren't going to sit around and wait for anything. So if Kenyatta got those papers, that I'm pretty sure that those placards is going to be put back in the ground. We just had this town hall meeting in what, it's October now, August,
Yeah.
and it just turned October. So that's basically what we're doing now to make sure those placards are preserved.
Okay. Okay, well, let me know if you and the elders are would like to see a certain type of environment that represents them and that represents their rights that they don't want to be bridged. There's a compliance committee that Sister BX is putting together, and then there's a reparation pushback incognito that is Sister Brooks is putting together, and then myself, I run an independent sovereign government under the Negro Black Nation United, and I handle most of the affairs that is related to our historical history. That we're entitled to some remedy, some relief, some retribution. I think every art that makes me feel like I can fight back is in my every art that I think I could possibly come up with, except for revenge. I think I use a lawsuit in order to make sure that our community, that our government is funded, and that the people get some kind of relief.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I do. And I think what y'all doing is beautiful, especially because we're going through an ethnocide, and an active one, and watching it happen in real time is very disrespectful, and it's also disheartening. And they're doing it to weaken us because we're getting attacked from all sides. It's like they're trying to spiritually, abuse us with the things that they know that we care about, like our heritage. And that's something that I find beautiful with my elders, and growing up in a neighborhood that has so many elders, because they're not going to let you take anything from them that is theirs. And I'm just happy with that. And I'm grateful about that, because they are some warriors, like, and they
Don't mess with these Negroes.
yes, and let me tell you, they cuss good.
Yeah, they
They
do. I just been polite. I'm a 61 years old woman. I just been polite and ladylike and proper. But don't you start messing with these old Negroes. We got the Negro Cavalry for a reason.
right,
We
and
didn't think it was no need, because we thought you young people, we thought y'all had it. Shoes. We thought y'all was finna put a stump a mud hole in these fools, but y'all need our help. We still have to serve
and you know
you all.
why I respect you saying that, because I agree, and that's because even though a lot of people say, well, we know because we was taught from the best, people from my generation, and I feel like, yeah, we know because we saw it and then we read it, but I feel like younger Black folks need to understand and recognize our privileges, because I am second generation born with on my rights. I didn't have to do X, Y, and Z. My grandmother got her full rights when she turned 18 in 1966, and her mother voted with her for the first time the following year.
I got mine in 1965.
Yes, and it was just crazy, and and I feel like when you recognize the fact, like, well, in a way, yeah, I was privileged, because if you look at the things that the elders and the ancestors fought for and did, like, I was born in the 90s.
Yep.
We still went through, Black people was going through, police brutality, and, witnessing, that's the first, Trayvon Martin was the first time, like, I seen something like that in real time, and it was scary because he was born February 4th of 1995, and I'm born February 13th of 1995, and that was the scariest shit in the world to me, because it was like, he's my age. How can they not recognize that he is a kid and not understanding that, okay, this been happening for a very long time, and it's now my generation time to see it.
And now they took away, they're dismantling civil rights, they dismantled all the protection
Everything.
we've done. So now the Negro Cavalry has to rise up again And my kids were born in, that's why I was telling Sister BX that I have children that I have to protect. That's you all. Because my children was born in 86. My daughter, 83. My son, 75. So I'm telling y'all right now, I know who my children are, that I know who I have to fight. And I know on their birth certificate, it did not say Negroes. It said Black, because the time has changed. It said that they were Black American or African American. But I know who they are. They're definitely not these immigrants who just got classified as Black. It's definitely not them. So we definitely are here for the fight. And I know BX is trying, because we've been on here since, I think she contacted me somewhere around 3:10 or something like that. And I had some time and stuff. But I think we have some plans, and a couple of plans that we have in place is to formulate a couple of committees. And then Sister BX is going to keep me in the loop in regards to the efforts and the brainstorm that y'all trying to do and will be doing. And then I will be always trying to provide you all with legal solutions and approaches to get the remedies and relief and resolve that you're looking for ASAP. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, but, as soon as possible kind of situation. And so I will be there in order to assist that while I'm trying to file a lawsuit. Not trying, but I actually got the lawsuit pretty much completed. I'm just in the process of making sure I dot my I's and cross my T's before I submit it. But it's dealing with the Office of Budget Administration to separate us, Negroes, put Negroes back on the block, and also separate Black Americans from all these other immigrants who, are taking advantage of our preserved history, our civil rights, our Constitution rights, everything that's related that we have. They're trying to actually steal from us. And I have a video that actually tell you, I don't know if I have it with me, but I could, next time that I come on here, I can show you their intent, where they're saying build. We're not here to build nothing. We're here to take. That's exactly what that's
all
doing.
they do. They take and never give nothing back.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna keep y'all updated on how the historic places in Philly is going. Also, but I want y'all to know, like, because I'm very passionate about the elders, so I'm not gonna let anybody disrespect them. I will use my body as a shield for them. Nice. But Philly elders are a different type of Black folk. Like, they with it. They let you know they with it real quick, and they'll cuss you out in a minute. They will cuss you out, and that's what they did at that committee. And everybody on that panel was zipped. Their mouth was sealed, and they was listening, and they didn't tell them what they wanted. They told them what they were going to do, or they was going to do it themselves. And people believed them. These people grew up during the move booming. These people was the same people who was a part of the riot of 1965.
Nice.
These are not the same. They're not dealing with no run-of-the-mill people. These people went and got their paperwork. This woman is 70-something years old, took Polaroid pictures, was literally sitting, because she retired, sat on her porch every day and monitored that church, because she knew that this day was going to come for her to be heard. The elders in Philly don't wait for anybody. They're going to get it done regardless. Nice. And that's who lead us. And they literally say, they will tell you when they need help. They would say, I need these young folks. But if they feel like they can get it done before you, they're going to get it done. When I went to the town hall and I sat down and I put my paper on, they was giving out their landlines, their cell phone numbers. They didn't have emails now. They told you they don't have no emails.
I know that, Nicole, because I still got a landline. They was like, I don't have one of them email things. I got a landline.
They was like, you won't call me here. And they was very serious about it.
The only thing different with me and them, that old folks thinking, is just I just happen to be right in the middle of the old folks and you young folks. That's
you right in the middle, so you understand both sides.
Yeah, I understand. That's it. But I got a landline.
They do. And they were like, you're calling my grandma got one too. They like, you
could call me on my landline. Yeah. Get out of here with this cell phone technology stuff.
They wasn't with it. And the
That's why I specifically picked BX to go ahead and give my information. I ain't got time to be on this phone. I don't, come on now. I'm not trying to make money off of this thing like you young people and all that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to talk to you young people so I can get the help y'all need and get y'all protected. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, and we appreciate you so much for it. But that's how it
I
was.
appreciate you.
So sitting in that town hall and listening to them and their grievances, and it was like, this is what we need. This is what y'all going to do. That's how they started each sentence, and I was like, let me record this because they're telling people what they're going to do. They're saying this is a set date. We're going to have another meeting, and we're going to fill people in. And they were like, oh, we're going to pass out these cards. We give everybody their emails. So they were like, we don't got all that. This is this number. You're going to call us. We don't need that. And then the ones who did have the cell phone were saying, we don't want too many people to have that because they feel like you want to steal their information if you got their cell phone number. So that wasn't given out.
Yeah, and they stubborn about their information. They ain't not finna run to no computers. They not finna do a whole bunch of texting and all that stuff. You better call me on this phone.
They sure do. Let me tell you something. My grandma won't even touch a laptop. She don't know what that was. She like, no, you put your information in that. What if they shut that down and steal your social security number?
You're welcome, Slim.
Absolutely.
That's what I just was telling the space. I said, yeah, you check me out. Soon my lights go off. I got emergency generator, light, food. I got a plastic boat I can blow up.
Yeah. They don't play like that. They prepared. My grandma got a whole.
I went through the 60s. In the 60s, it's a time where you had to just know that you were living day by day.
Yeah.
And you didn't have the quality of life. And if you happened to chance on good living, they were right there to push you back out. So, I was there at the time period, they were throwing food off the truck at us. So I appreciate the Lord, giving me the mind and the talents to use my talents where, I'm in places and got places and stuff like that. But I still prepare because I know what the white people are capable to do. I know what they're capable to do. These bad boys are capable to drop bombs on us.
Right.
These bad boys will send drones and robots when they're tired of us, and they're getting tired of us. They're trying to annihilate us and replace us. That's the reason why you see military. That's the reason why you see police just acting out of control. That's the reason why you see that they shutting the doors in our face. That's the reason why you see all this hostility everywhere, in school, at the malls, at the church, on the plane. That's because they're trying to create a situation so that they can remove us and create an all-white nationalism. That's the hidden deception in which they're working on. God is not going to let that happen, but just to let you all know, to begin to build up a wall or a defense and get everything in order so that we can at least make it hard for them to do what it is that they did some years back.
Yeah, and that's where I say that I'm one of the foot soldiers. I'm not the leader. Now the elders are the leaders because they had their stuff together. I wasn't prepared. They came with folders and one of them them accordion binders. Ooh, they came they came with the accordion binders, pulling out papers and proof. And I was like, it's just got real. Hold on.
And then they showed you how old smart they was too. That was some old smart stuff.
Yeah, this lady had over 60 Polaroids wrapped up in rubber bands. She was not playing. And I was sitting there, and then the announcer was like, "Ma'am, we're gonna get back to you." She said, "You gonna listen?" And everybody was quiet, and I was like, "I know that's right." And
you better not mess with the seniors. There's way too many laws out there to protect them. So you definitely got you a strong force backing you up, and we appreciate you serving us and being there for us as well. But Sister BX, I think I'm with you. I know you wanted to go ahead and wind down, but you wanted to get Sister Bookie a chance to get up here and just clarify the moves that can be made based on preserved history and also based on the law. She's going through the effort of getting the Congress or her representative to challenge what has happened, that's one move, which is pretty good because they don't have to come out with no money or anything with that. But if they feel that for some reason the representative is not he's no longer interested in doing something, then she should be coming back through the compliance committee and then talking with you, then talk to me, and then we should be putting a legal team together in order to force them and provide appropriate notice to force them to put that plaque back up.
Yes.
Yes.
And I thank y'all so much for that. But like I said, like with the elder with the accordion binder, when you named that off, the Philadelphia, like the historic preservation
Preservation laws.
yeah, in Philly, is right there on Walnut Street. It's one of the oldest buildings ever, and we have Black Americans in charge of that, and they have a Instagram and a website as well for that, and they documented the first Black Philadelphians in Philly from 1639 to 1833, and so that was a part of. They were the ones who set up the town hall because they doing each section of Philly. They doing the bottom, which is in West Philly next. So they doing that. But me being from North, they put that together, and the elders came out in droves, and they made their voices heard, and that's why I said his name so much, Kenyatta Johnson, because he's somebody a representative who really do get stuff done. He hear us, and he makes sure it gets done, and that's something I really appreciate about him. And Brian Street, he's just like his father. His father was our mayor, and now he's one of our councilmen, and they really. That's why I'm so happy that I have so many Black American representatives, ethnically Black, and that's why I'm so happy I'm in the Black American city, because they really, even though Philly is a Pan-African city, that's not going to happen. Like, you're not going to undo over what Philly is almost older than America. You're not going to undo all that is done. You're just not, and that's something I'm proud of my city. But the thing that really hurt me was the fact that the elders had to do that in the first place. Why are you of African descent and you're Black and you call yourself racially Black in this country? Why would you ever try to erase someone's history and replace it with yours? That's colonization. You know what it's like to be colonized. Why are you trying to do it? And that would hurt me. But they didn't. They've been through too much to let little stuff get to them. Crying is not going to get anything done. So what the elders did was say, look, this is what y'all going to do. This is the time frame y'all going to do it. If not, we're doing X, Y, Z. She didn't say she was going to do it the legal way. She said, I'm going to go get the plaque and put it back up. That's the last thing she said. And I 100% believed her. Like, because she lived across the street. So like that's somebody grandmom in North Philly. I'm not going to say, I know her grandson, and her grandson ain't dead.
Yeah.
You know, he one of them. So they better listen to her. If she has to go get that
posted. Well, you keep me posted. I'm glad you told me what was going on, because now I'm up to speed as far as what's going on in Philly.
I don't have to worry about it no more.
Yeah, nice. Okay, BX. So I'm good. You good? Is there any more questions or anything that's come from the back channel, or am I good to?
I'm going to definitely hit you in the back channel. I want to thank Bookie, though, because I was worried about it. I didn't know how strong the elders were there, and I'm glad that you showed up right as I was about to hit the end button. Here you came. So that's nothing but the ancestors. That's nothing but God. Letting us know that
you don't have to worry no more. I said, I'm happy you don't have to worry so much. I knew it was because you was, DMing me so much, and I was like, wait until I got off the work to really try to get back to you. But I get off of work late, so I didn't want to mess with you sometimes. But I'm happy that I was able to tell you, so you don't have to worry so much about that, because the elders are really doing their thing here to make sure,
And then, can you confirm most of them could classify themselves as Negroes, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
When you
they
let
do.
them know, I'm gonna have a special Negro historical parade, and I don't know if I'll be able to work with them. So when I do it, it's in all of our cities, one in Delaware, but some also set up in Philly at the same time.
Yes, they definitely. My grandmother herself still identifies as Negro.
Yes, I just was telling BX that I'm a part of a Negro council, and we got 2 million. It's 2 million of us, so
Woo.
we just lay low, and y'all just we just been out of y'all way because
Right.
it's just been a new time period. So we haven't had no reason to rise up, but now because we see a storm brewing up, and we see some issues that's just getting a little bit out of hand as far as we are concerned. And so now it's time for us to take action.
Yes. Oh, this was such a beautiful live. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God. Thank you, Easy Does It. This was very beautiful. And I want to thank you, Miss Kim, for sitting with me for going on 5 hours.
Woo.
5 hours. And Sister Brooke, I want to thank you. I know you're running late. Keisha's about to go live in like 9 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And Bookie, oh, I'm glad you came in like the Russian wind.
Yes,
To
amen.
give us an update. I have the Philly from Flint brother looking for you so he could talk to you and see what's going on.
Right.
So I was getting some soldiers on the outside to come in if the elders wasn't standing on guard. But God bless them.
Let me
Just
tell you
tell them
something.
that.
Let me tell you something. They say Philly is a different city. It is, because look, I'll tell you about our elders. Our elders are crazy. I never like usually I was raised, you come into place professional, you get your paperwork and stuff like that. Shoot. The elders came in and said, "You want smoke? We going to start a fire."
That sound like old Negroes. Hot mess. Okay, baby. Well, I'm out. Thank you for letting me speak and just let me tell y'all how I feel about the situation that I see. I appreciate you all, and then I look forward to BX sending me an update about some of the other stuff you guys going on. Have a good night.
Good night, Miss Kim. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Brooke, you still there? She's getting ready for work, and she's going to be, I guess, a guest panelist on Sister Keisha's
No, I'm
panel.
here, but it was like stuck or something. It wouldn't let me unmute. I'm here. I'm getting here. I'm getting ready right now.
I thank you for coming and providing your insight. Whenever you think that I'm like being too out in the open and we moving in silence, my inbox is always open. You could stop me on the panel as I'm talking. Bookie will tell you I be coming off my mic like ah. I just told the room a he say he not Pan African, but Caribbeans was up there. I come in the room, they want me to get on the panel and talk about reparations. At first I was like, no. And then Ray was like, Auntie, please come tell them about reparations. So I got up there and I was like, none of your business. Mind your business. Y'all are
Yeah.
Caribbean. Y'all got CARICOM. I was going off. So you don't ever feel say I got, excuse me in advance, just to say, look, Sister BX, back channel, hit my
Okay.
inbox, and I know to be
Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate that because strategy is like I said, that is how I was able to accomplish what I accomplished at the nail shop when I did not know Sister Keisha yet. You know what I'm saying? When I did not know anybody, and it was really me pretty much alone. You know what I mean? I had a goal, and I didn't waver from that goal. So I'm just as laser focused for our reparations. So sometimes I see things that I guess other people don't see. So I appreciate having the space to be able to share those things, because sometimes those things are not obvious to everyone else.
Yeah. So when you say at the nail shop, are you talking about in Brooklyn when they put their hands on an elder?
Oh yeah,
Shop owners? Okay.
oh yeah, I don't have that much time, but yeah, that was me.
Okay. Thank you. Beautiful job. And y'all
Thank
shut
you.
them down, correct? They didn't
Yeah,
erect
and they're
another
absolutely,
business?
and there was a lot of, we could talk about that when we have more time, but
Sure.
that required extreme strategy through all types of obstacles that was sent our way to deter us from having that place shut down. So you just have to kind of have tunnel vision and not really like you just have to know where your goal is, and don't let nobody take you and take you on side tracks and side roads and all this kind of stuff, because oppositions were sent. You know what I'm saying? People were sent for controlled opposition and everything to try to get me off my mission, and it didn't work. So, you know, like I said, I'm pretty good at strategy. So I just hope that, you know, I appreciate the family, you know, listening to some of my weird views.
Don't worry, I'm an Aquarius. Bookie will tell you.
Oh, me
I'm
too.
weird.
I'm an Aquarius
See
too.
that? Bookie's an Aquarius too.
Okay, so we all Aquariuses. Okay, all right. I'm an Aquarius too.
Yeah, we
Okay.
think differently.
Yeah. And I see different too. Like I see
Yeah.
weird things. So
Mhm.
you know, so but yeah, I gotta get ready to go because I got 4
Okay.
minutes before we get. I hope you guys all join us on the Brooklyn Bridge, a Thorough Black Talk on YouTube.
Okay.
Actually, when I was talking about that thing that happened, where the guy was talking about how you know, he could not remove some of the traitors in his community. We're going to show video from that pull up, because that's what it was. We pulled up on them, and we were stealth about it too. They didn't know we was coming. So I want y'all to see, you know, part of the reason why I believe that we need to do some of the things that we do a lot more stealth, because this is what happens when you are stealth. So join us. I hope you guys can join us on Thorough Black Talk on YouTube in 4 minutes.
What
Okay.
Thorough Black
I
Talk?
put
How
it
is
in
it spelled?
I put it in the chat, y'all. Do y'all see it? Thorough
Yeah, I
Black
see it.
Talk Worldview.
Let me
Please go, because
screenshot.
he's going to show you what the Pan Africans are doing to us.
Yeah.
Or talking about.
And that's something that hurt me about my city. Like, I love my city, and I love my city like how like black it is, and because it's predominantly black Philadelphians who are we have a lot of young kids, but we like the elders outnumber us, you know, in a way, and they see you, if you black, they see you as black and they with you, but they don't generalize anybody. So if they don't like, if they see one person from a community doing something, and they go, that's messed up because I really rock with your so-and-so. And that would hurt, because I would like, please just burn that flag. That RBG flag is not doing nothing else for us. And that's why when a creator actually had to come on here and say, don't be delusional. Don't say that y'all outnumbering black Americans in Philly. The fact that somebody had to do that because people was in his comments saying, well, y'all not the predominant number. And like, we the predominant number out of every race in Philadelphia. Every race. It's only 120,000 African and 50,000 Caribbeans. We are 7 out of that number, out of blacks. We are 598,000. Like, how are you outnumbering us? And why do you want to? That's the real conversation. Why do you want to outnumber a group of people? It's weird.
Bookie, can you, like, when you find out your schedule, can you put a time that you'll be available? We can sit here. You know, I keep an echo chamber. I renamed my room an echo chamber. I'm restructuring my platform to put my journalism degrees to use. So what I do is I interview here, then I cut it up, and I put it on my YouTube channel.
Right.
What I'm doing is talking to people that are actually putting the work in. What I'm realizing is that if I had never gone to Twitter and Brother Simon never introduced me to certain people, I would be frustrated too, not knowing what was going on. So this is a source for awareness and information, right? And we'll keep it PG-13, where we won't talk strategies, but just make people aware. I would like you to come and sit with me and just talk about everything, all your concerns. And then other people could join too, and then we're going to get it off our chest. It's going to be called the vent session. Come get it off your chest. And we're going to be right here in the echo chamber. Somebody was trying to come up when I was interviewing Miss Kim, and I was like, it ain't that type of party.
Right.
It's a one-on-one interview. So everybody is safe here. Won't be no distractors on my panel. And, you know, if they're in the chat doing too much, I'm a bouncer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
And
think we need to talk and catch up. Yeah.
yeah, we definitely do, because it's a lot, especially because it's like if you look at the largest Pan-African festival in America, that's the Ondundee Festival, and that's in Philadelphia, created by 2 Black American women.
Right.
And it's like, and it's still owned by a Black American. Um, her daughter, and her daughter passed it off to her son, who her husband is Black American, and she's also Black American. But it's like, you know, her name is Pan African, and her kid's name is Pan African. That embodies Philly. Philly is a city that loves its people, and I wish it would just, like, at this point, Pan Africanism is ethnocide to me. It equals to assimilation, and assimilation is ethnocide. That's what it is at this point. And I wish my city see it, but you can't tell a Black ass city not to love Black people.
And that's facts. I'm gonna end it on that. Go to YouTube. It's a nice chat over there.
Okay.
You're gonna catch a lot of information. I'm gonna peek in until Afro Elite go live, and then I'll probably be switching back and forth from my phone to my laptop, because I moderate for him on YouTube too. But I don't want to miss this live, and I want to watch it in real time, not on replay. But I do miss you, Bookie. We gotta catch up. We gotta talk about hip hop.
Yes.
Because I'm feeling like New York is getting another erasure. If Black Americans were in New York since 1640, and this is no disrespect to the South, but I think the key word is missing when they tell history. Is meshed. Southern culture meshed with Northern culture, right? And so I'm feeling like, one day, I don't play with filters. I don't really post myself, but I was having so much fun with my filters, old school New York songs. I was like, I'm so New York. And next thing I know, Southerners is where, you know, hip hop started in the South. And I'm just like, I can't enjoy my song. Not that I'm saying that, so, you know, the elements, we know James Brown, we know Pygmy Markin, Jubilees. I'm not saying that. But let me enjoy my music without reminding me of the hip-hop beef and stuff. And now I got to incorporate in everybody's vocabulary meshed. Because my ancestors were not sitting here twiddling their thumbs. And, you know, I do have enslaved ancestors formerly
in New York.
enslaved from New York and New Jersey.
That's why I tell people.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people, you can't take that from the Bronx. It was created by Black Americans in the Bronx. Yes, the Great Migration happened. That's why I tell people. That's why even though I'm a product of the Great Migration, I say I'm a North Philly girl with Southern roots. But there's North Philly people with North Philly. There's North Philly people with North Philly roots, and I tell people all the time, the Northerners wasn't sitting down just doing nothing, because the first wave of the civil rights movement was started up north in Philadelphia and New York. So if we look at the Black labor union that was created between Philadelphia and New York, and, you know, with the Pullman Porters, that was a civil rights movement. I Am a Man was started up north in these two cities. We can't take away from Northerners who was already had their culture. Just like we can't take away the fact that the concrete cowboys in Philly, they was up here since the 1800s. They was here prior to the Great Migration. The Southerners didn't bring riding horses to Philly. It was already there. I love my Southern roots that I have, but I'm not going to disrespect North Philly and the people who family was enslaved up here, who built their own community, because these communities existed. And Dapper Dan, who is half Gullah Geechee, his father being from both his parents from South Carolina, but his dad specifically is Geechee, and his grandfather was a slave, and that's how we all know slavery was that far ago. But the fact that he actually, like, his father actually had a parent who was a slave is actually crazy. And he talked about he would go down south and see his cousins, and that's where his style got developed. And, you know, he from Harlem, and he talked about how when his mother would say how they first came up from the South to New York, and the Black New Yorkers who already had these boroughs had basically felt like a little town that they could just migrate into. We can't erase the communities that was built by the Northerners that allowed our elders to migrate into these safe spaces, because the Red Summer of 1919 happened everywhere during the Great Migration, and a lot of our elders wasn't safe, and those Black communities and neighborhoods saved a lot of them. And I don't like that when people try to erase Northern culture, because it's unfair. It's unfair and it's not right. And we have to do a better job of saying, yes, certain elements come from certain people, but at the same time, you have to understand that it existed down south, but it didn't take off until it got in New York. And there was a reason why. There was a reason, because it was two different cultures blended. And Dad says that. And Dad said he didn't meet another person from North Carolina until he went to Brooklyn. He didn't meet somebody from Virginia until he went to the Bronx. He didn't meet somebody, he said he didn't meet another person from another like Alabama until he went to a whole nother part of New York. And that's why I was reading his book, and he made it like New York prior to a large population of the Caribbeans and the Africans coming. He said during the end of the Harlem Renaissance, 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, he said it was a little southern town. They slept with their doors open. They had rocks propped up in their doors. They didn't have to worry about stuff like that.
Wow.
He said, and the way he painted Harlem during that time when the Renaissance was fading out and the Great Migration was happening, the second wave, it was so beautiful because it reminded me of the fact that my great-grandma came to North Philly with 4 little kids and then had the rest of her 12 kids up here. And she was able to migrate into these communities. And we can't take that from the people who was here. We just can't, you know? And it's terrible that people want to do that. And I understand, because I feel like Southerners felt like they don't get a lot of shine, or they get looked at like they're uneducated or something like that. And I don't know who made them feel like that, because they're not. Because a lot of our greatest minds are from the South. Zora Hurston is from Florida. Like, I'm trying to understand, like, nobody thinks that way about the Southerners. I just think they think that's put on them. And really, it's not put on them, it's put on the white ones. Honestly, I don't know why they... Yeah.
That makes sense. So when you come back, I know you know about Cleopatra and what she said about, oh, you bitches can't dress. Y'all must be Southern. You must be Southern. I think we have a lot to discuss, and you being here with me when I discuss it, so they won't be, I'll be accessing her feelings.
Yeah, I feel you.
And then you, oh my God, your mind, the history that you know, you can even tell me about New York history. Because I really want to know I think we had ragtime in the North before the South migrated. Right. So I want to touch on that and just everything that's going on. We're going to call it the state do they have that? The State of Black America. That's going to be our town hall.
Okay.
Yep. And other people could join. So just message me when you're ready and we could get that popping. Don't worry about how late it is when you message me, because 9 times out of 10 I'm up. And if I'm asleep, then I'm just going to answer the DM in the morning when I wake up. It's not that serious. But I don't mind you, out of all people, Bookie, getting in my inbox. And I thank you for showing up to help ease my mind about Philly. Because I've been telling everybody, like, I'm trying to see how I can help y'all. And meanwhile, our elders is working it out. See how
Yes.
Yes,
The
God
elders
bless
are doing
them.
it, and that's how it is. It's like sometimes you got to do something for yourself, because I felt, even though I feel like if they probably felt like the youth didn't care,
Right.
so they had to do it themselves.
Right.
So it's sad that they felt like that, but they did it.
Yes, God bless them.
Yep, God bless our elders, man.
Don't forget, or I'm going to be in your inbox like by the end of the week or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
All right. Thank you, Bookie. So I'm going to say to everybody, if y'all still in the room, thank you for all the gifts, the likes, and I can't share my pages private now. But thank you for the support, and be sure to follow me and go over to Thorough Black Talk Worldview on YouTube, and also Afro Leash channel. Both of them are going live. Y'all can switch back and forth between the platforms, because that's what I'm going to be doing. Support new Black media. And I love y'all for real.
Love you too.
Reparations, Bookie.
Love, peace, and reparations. Are they both on YouTube?
Yes, they are.
Okay. I see you over there.
Okay, no problem. Peace, everyone.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.